Hi everyone, welcome back to Techcravers. It really feels like 2025 is becoming the year of dual screen handhelds. We got AYANEO Thor and the AYANEO Pocket DS already out, two of the best and most interesting devices you can get your hands on right now. And we also got the upcoming RGDS from Ambernic on the horizon. So yeah, it's safe to say that dual screen Android handhelds are having a bit of a moment. And in this video, I'm gonna show you just how easy it is to get started with Wii U, Nintendo DS and Nintendo 3DS emulation on these devices, whether you're using the Thor, the Pocket DS or any other new dual screen handheld with Android that are popping up this year. I'll walk you through everything step by step, from installing the right emulators to getting them properly configured for two screens, and I'll share some useful tips and tricks along the way to make your setup as smooth as possible. But now, without any further delay, let's jump right into it. And the first thing you want to do on your device is to tap the first link in this video's description. That link will take you to Sapphire Rhodonite's GitHub profile. Once you're there, click on repositories at the top of the page and this will bring up a list of all the emulators we'll be using in this guide. From here, make your way through the list and download the latest release for the following emulators: Azahar for Nintendo 3DS, Cemu for Wii U, and MelonDS for Nintendo DS. In each case, you want to download the APK files from their respective releases pages, since those are the install files that you can run directly on your handheld. Now, one quick note, Azahar already includes dual screen support in its official version, so it's up to you whether you want to use the official build or Sapphire Rhodonite's fork. Both will work fine. And if you see any security pop-ups during the downloads or when trying to install the APKs, just confirm that you trust the source and allow your browser or file manager to continue the installation. It's completely normal to get that for APK installs outside the Play Store. And once you downloaded and installed all the emulators, your home screen should look something like this. You should have 3 new icons on your device: Azahar, Cemu and MelonDS, all ready to go. And now that we got our emulators installed, the next step is to get some games ready for each of them. To make things easy, I'm using a simple USB-C flash drive. I just plug it into my computer and transfer my own game dumps or ROMs over to it. And to keep things simple in this guide, we're going to use just 3 games, one for each platform. I've created a separate folder for each system, and now I'm placing 1 game in each corresponding folder. But, and this is important, for 3DS games you need to change the file extension from whatever it currently is, most likely .3ds, to .cci instead. That step is absolutely necessary for Azahar to recognize and load the file properly. And once you got your folders organized and your games ready on the USB drive, it's time to switch back over to our Android handheld. On your device, open the Google Play Store and download a file manager of your choice. Personally, I prefer using ZArchiver, and that's what I'll be using throughout this guide. It's lightweight, easy to navigate and works perfectly for moving files and organizing your game folders. Now go ahead and insert your USB drive with your games into your device and then open up ZArchiver. And when you open up ZArchiver for the first time, it'll ask for permission to access files on your device, so just tap OK to allow it. On the left side of the screen you'll see 2 main locations: device storage, which is your handheld's internal storage, and right below that your USB drive. It might be listed as USB flash, USB storage or something similar depending on your device. We're going to drag and drop our game folders from the USB drive over to the device storage. And to keep things organized, I recommend creating a dedicated folder for all your emulation stuff. I'm creating a new folder called Emulation by tapping the plus icon in the bottom right corner. Once your emulation folder is created, go ahead and open your USB drive. Apart from the game folders that you made earlier, you probably also see a bunch of automatically generated Android folders. Those appear as soon as you plug the USB drive into your device. Now, to make things easier, tap the little icon with 2 check marks next to each other. That activates multi-selection mode in ZArchiver. Now tap on your 3 game folders. Once you've selected all of your game folders, press and hold on one of them to bring up the action menu. From here you can choose to either copy the folders or cut them out. It's completely up to you. Personally, I'm choosing to copy mine just to keep a backup on the USB drive in case I need them later. So now go back into your device storage, and here you can find the emulation folder that you created earlier, or whatever you decided to name yours. And once you're inside that folder, tap the icon at the bottom right corner to start copying or moving your files over from the USB drive. This will of course take a while depending on how many games you decide to transfer. And with your game files now safely stored on your internal storage, it's finally time to start configuring the emulators. So let's begin with Azahar. When you launch it for the first time, you need to allow a few permissions. Make sure to enable notifications and also grant access to the microphone and camera when prompted. After that, Azahar will ask you to choose a user folder. That's the storage location for its files, where it will save everything like configuration files, save states and shader data. You can either create a new folder for this or select an existing one if you already have a setup from before. And next you will be asked to pick your applications folder, which is simply where your games or ROMs are located. So here, navigate to the 3DS folder you created and transferred earlier, and select that as your applications directory. Your games should appear right away as long as you rename the file extension to .cci. If you don't see them in your list, double check the extension. Now open Settings by tapping the three dots in the top left corner. Then tap on Settings. Scroll down to Layout. Tap Landscape Screen Layout. Choose Single Screen. This will keep the primary top view on your main display. Scroll a bit further down to Secondary Display Screen Layout and choose Bottom Screen. This sends the touchscreen to the second display. Then go back and select Graphics. Scroll to Internal Resolution and increase it. I'm using 3x native in this guide. This gives a big boost in clarity for 3DS games. Then go back one level again and select Gamepad. Go through and map each button to your liking: sticks, D-pad, A, B, X and Y, shoulders, triggers, start, select, etc. And when you're done, return to Azahar's home screen and launch a game by tapping its icon. If everything is set correctly, you'll have the top screen on your main display and the bottom touchscreen on the second display, at a much cleaner resolution as well. And one last thing, while you're in the game, you can swipe in from the left side of the screen to open Azahar's quick menu. Here, tap Overlay Options and then untick Show Controller Overlay. That hides the on-screen touch controls so you can enjoy a completely clean dual screen experience. Alright, one down, two to go. On your device, go ahead and launch the Wii U emulator Cemu. Tap the three dots in the upper right corner and then select General Settings. Next, tap on Add Game Path. Now hit the plus icon in the top right corner and navigate to the folder where you placed your Wii U games earlier. Once that's set, swipe back to the start screen and you should now see your games listed. To configure your controls, tap the three dots again, tap on Settings and choose Input Settings. Select Controller 1, then tap on Emulated Controller and choose Wii U Gamepad. From here, map each button on your device to its corresponding button on the Wii U Gamepad. Left stick, right stick, triggers, everything. Take your time and make sure everything feels natural. When you're done, go back to the main screen and launch one of your games to test it out. And to configure dual screens in this Cemu fork, once you've launched a game, swipe in from the left side of the screen to open the quick menu. Tick the box next to Show Pad and your Wii U Gamepad screen will now appear on the right side of your main display. Swipe in from the left again and this time tick the box next to External Pad Screen. This will move the gamepad display down to your bottom screen, giving you a proper dual screen Wii U setup. Now here's a quick tip for anyone experiencing graphical issues with certain Wii U games, for example The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, where the map should appear on the lower screen and also in the lower left corner of the main display. If you run into that problem, close down Cemu and head to the link in the video's description labeled Cemu Turnip Drivers. From there, download the latest version of the Turnip drivers for Cemu. They help to fix those rendering issues and make everything display correctly on both screens. And with the Turnip drivers downloaded, open Cemu again and tap the 3 dots in the upper right corner, then go into Settings and then Graphical Settings. Next, tap on Custom Drivers and hit the plus icon in the top right corner. Locate your Turnip drivers. They should be in a folder where you downloaded the zip archive earlier. Tap on them to add them. Once added, they'll appear as a selectable option in your drivers list. Select a new Turnip driver and restart your game, and you should notice that your rendering problems are now gone. This fix also works for many other titles, and in general Cemu becomes a lot more stable with these drivers installed. That said, since Cemu for Android is still in an early stage of development, don't expect it to solve every single issue, but for most games it makes a big difference. Alright everyone, just one more system to configure in this guide, and that's of course the Nintendo DS. Open up MelonDS, which we installed earlier, and start by setting your ROM directory. Select the folder where you stored your DS games earlier. Once your games appear in the list, tap the 3 dots in the top right corner and go to Settings. Then tap on Video. Scroll down a bit and find External Display Screen. Set this to Bottom Screen. Next, tap on the option just above it, Internal Screen Layout, and then tap the plus icon in the top right corner. You'll see 2 colored boxes. The red one represents the external display, and the blue one represents your main internal screen. Tap on the red box and simply delete it, since that screen will now appear on our lower display instead. Now tap on the blue box, which is our main screen, grab the height slider and drag it all the way to the right to fill your main display. And once that is done, use the 2 buttons on the bottom left labeled Center horizontally and Center vertically to perfectly position your screen. When you're happy with how it looks, swipe in from the left side on your screen and select Save and Exit. Then choose any name for your setup and select it in the list of layouts. Then go back one step to the video settings and this time tap on Renderer. Switch it from Software to OpenGL. By doing this, you unlock the option to increase the internal resolution, and you can raise it all the way up to 8 times native resolution for a much sharper image. Once you're happy with your setup, go back one step to the main settings menu and scroll down to Input. And you already know the drill here. Map each button on your device to the corresponding button layout of a Nintendo DS. Once you're done setting up your controls, go back to the MelonDS home screen and launch any DS game of choice to test it out. Oh, and one quick tip, you can map both your D-pad and your left analog stick to the movement buttons. That way you can choose whichever feels more natural when walking around in games like Pokemon or Zelda. And then there's 2 more things you should do once you have launched your first game. Swipe in from the left and tap on Quick Settings. Then hit the button that says Keep DS Aspect Ratio. This keeps the original proportions for the DS screens so everything looked the way it should, no stretching or weird scaling. Then swipe in from the left one last time and select Settings at the top. Scroll down to Input and untick Show Soft Input. That removes all the on-screen touch controls and gives you a clean, uncluttered view on both screens. And with that, you're finally ready to go play your Nintendo DS games. And just like that, we're all set. In this video, we went through everything you need to know to get dual screen emulation running on your Android handheld. From downloading the right emulator forks, setting up your game folders and transferring your ROMs, to fully configuring Azahar, Cemu and MelonDS for that perfect 2-screen experience. Hopefully this guide helped make the whole process a little clearer and easier to follow. If it did, a like on the video really helps out, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Techcravers so you don't miss any upcoming reviews, setup tips or deep dives into all these awesome handhelds. Thanks so much for watching, I'll see you in the next one. Happy gaming everyone!